All right, today you are going to have a guest teacher that's going to talk to you about parallel lines. All right, so you're going to need to use this for later on. So remember, parallel lines are lines that go on and on and on that never touch. All right, I will give you directions after she is done with the review. See you then.
Laterals. We're going to focus today on something called parallel sides and how many different sets of parallel sides different quadrilaterals have. So here's my big trick. When you look at the word parallel, here's the word parallel. The two L's in parallel, this L and this L, are actually parallel lines. So that's how I always remember what parallel means. So parallel lines are two lines that are exactly straight and they're never going to come in contact with each other. They will always stay exactly the same distance apart and they'll never get closer and they'll never go farther away either. It's like train tracks or railroad tracks. They're always equal distance apart and so they will never go in or out. So whenever we look at these different shapes, some shapes have no parallel sides. Some shapes have one set of parallel lines. Some shapes have two sets of parallel lines. So if we look at our first quadrilateral, a square, you want to look at the opposite sides. And so first you can see that this side here and this side here are parallel. So you have to imagine that they're going to go on and 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 on in both directions forever and ever and ever. So you have to kind of imagine that this line continues on and on and on and on and on in both ways. They will never touch. They will never come in contact with one another. So this side and this side are parallel lines. If we look at the other sides, this side and this side, also parallel. If they continued on and on and on, all the way out into outer space, forever and ever and ever and ever, as far as they could possibly go, they will never touch. So a square has two sets of parallel sides. It has this set, and then it has this set here. So a square has two sets of parallel lines or parallel sides. Now, if we look at a trapezoid, if we look at the top and the bottom, remember guys, I drew these so they're not going to be perfect, but if we look here and here, and we envision these lines to go on and on and on and on and on forever and ever in both directions, does it look like they'll ever touch? No, they won't. They're parallel. So this is one set of parallel sides. Now if we look at the other side, at this time, they're not touching. Those two sides are not touching yet, but if, even though that's the end of the shape right there, if those lines went on and on and on forever and ever, and they continued on, would they eventually touch? Yeah, they would. So they're not parallel. The green here and here are parallel, but the red are not. So this trapezoid has only one set of parallel sides, just the green. So here and here would be parallel. Take a look at the rectangle. The top and the bottom, do they look like they'll ever touch? Nope, they're parallel. And then the left side and the right side. So that rectangle has two sets of parallel sides. Now if we look down here at this rhombus, let's look at this part and this line here. Now, sometimes it's a little bit tricky when it's not straight, it's on an angle a little bit, but we have to try and visualize if it continued on and on in both directions, would they ever cross? No, they're parallel. They're just like two train tracks. And these sides here, here, and here, they're never gonna touch. Parallel, straight, just like if you put your arms out straight like this, as straight as you can, and your arms will never cross. If you put them straight in front of you, those are parallel. So this shape, this rhombus, has two sets of parallel sides. I don't know what this is called, but it's quadrilateral, has four sides. Whew, I'm not sure I can find any that look parallel. This one touches right here. This and this touch right here. We look at this one. This and this connect right here. This and this connect right here. It's a quadrilateral, but no parallel sides. So this one has 0 parallel sides. Let's look at this rhombus or parallelogram down here. It's essentially the same shape, just turned a different way. So if this one, and again, guys, remember I just drew it, so it's not going to be perfect. These two lines, do they look parallel? They are. They're never going to touch. They can go the whole way on for miles and miles and miles. We'll never touch. And then these sides as well. This one and this one. So this shape has 2 parallel sides, or 2 sets of parallel lines. This one is one set, and then the red is another set. Finally, this is a quadrilateral. So let's see. If we look at this side here, and this side here, are they touching? No, they're not. But if the lines continued on, if the imaginary lines continued on, all the ways they possibly could, kept on going, they would eventually touch. Now this one's not all that far. Some, they're going to be miles away before they touch. But this one you see will eventually touch. So that is not parallel. What about the other side? They don't touch. Do you think on this side they're going to? So continue out. Keep on going, going, going. That's not going to touch. But what about this side? If the lines continue on and on and on and on and on, eventually they'll touch. Also, not parallel. So here we have no parallel sides. Here we had 2 sets. Here we had 2 sets. 0. 2 sets. Remember, this trapezoid only had 1 set. The top and the bottom were parallel, but not the sides. And then the square had 2 sets of parallel sides. So, what I want you...
Welcome back. So now that she went over that, there is a boom card that I want you to play. Then after that boom card, there is a sort, a Google Slides sort, where you take the pictures of the 2D shapes and you put them either into 0 parallel lines, 1 set of parallel lines, or 2 sets of parallel lines. There is just a square, a circle, a triangle, a rectangle, and a rhombus, a trapezoid. Did I say them all? There's one of each, so you just put them in the right box, the category, and you are good to go. All right, that will be your exit ticket. Have a great day. Bye.